flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sometimes my legs are too short for some of these chairs. Can't touch the ground. Good morning, everybody. Elrod County Commission meeting, Tuesday, September 8th. Public comment. Yes, we won't let them talk about this. Montana Minute, Franklin.
Well, we got some rain, not much, but we got some anyway.
Okay, Laura.
I would again like to salute our volunteers. I did not make the search and rescue dinner Saturday. We were out of town, but as we came back at 5:30 and prior to leaving before the event started, that whole place was packed. Got a report from Wynn on how well they did, and this community supportive search and rescue and those volunteers is phenomenal.
Good.
My hat's off to them.
Very good. And community update, Franklin.
Coming for the sheriff's promotional ceremony he had.
Uh-huh. Anything else?
No,
Laura?
I was also here for the promotion ceremony for Brandon Harris, who's now our new detention center administrator. It was well attended. It was a very nicely put together affair and very emotional, which also was nicely done. Very appropriate. Brandon has earned the trust and
Yeah.
respect of a lot of people. There was also the Eustis Fire tour. I went on that with Ed this past week, and it was good to see. You could see it from the highway. It was huge. And then I went to JDAI all day Friday, and that's the Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative. And that's rolling along. It started in May. So hopefully we'll be seeing some good things from that.
Montana Minute. Football team won very soundly on Friday night
Dun, dun, dun.
against Missoula Loyola. But just kind of an FYI, their quarterback has connections to Broadwater County. In fact, it's Joe and Lisa Jepson's grandson.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Joey's son.
And did he do well?
Huh?
Did he do well?
He did well.
Good, good,
Not quite as well as ours, but.
good.
And I'd had a grandson that did outstandingly well, but I don't want that in minutes. And he thrives on football, I swear. And community update was, I didn't get to go either to the search and rescue. I intended just sitting and chatting. But that get carried. But I was also there for a meeting with Black Mountain. Very good meeting.
Excellent.
So, morning, Dana.
Thanks for going to that.
It was good.
Oh, sorry.
It does. It just makes me smile.
Oh. No, tell us about that meeting. You and I, of course, attended the conference call, what was it, Tuesday, over the budget issues. So what happened on Friday?
Well, then on Friday, David Martin, owner of the company, or one of the owners, came down, and Jody came, who has been with the company for a long time. And they went through a lot of things, see where, make sure that everything's A-okay. It was a good meeting. It was very, very good. They were with Debbie on some stuff. And so it was well worth whatever it's going to cost us. It was well worth money spent. I'd like to have them come again sometime when we have questions,
Yeah.
instead of sitting down here trying to figure it out. No, to show us.
Yeah. That's probably the most important thing we do is the budget.
Exactly,
And so thank you very much for that on Friday.
not a problem,
And it was a good call, I thought, on Tuesday
yeah.
to illustrate how serious we are about this.
Well, and it was an all-day thing, I mean, we started at 8:30 in the morning, I think it was, and it was after 5 when we walked out of here, and we
Wow.
never left from it,
Wow.
so it was good. Very, very good. Let's go through a few mail signatures.
And for the minutes, that was a conference call with Black Mountain to get to the bottom of some of the issues. It's Doug and Debbie switch over.
I have claims in the amount of $29,869.15.
Will we pay the approved claims in set amount?
No second.
It's moved and seconded that we pay the claims in the amount of $29,869.15. All in favor?
I,
Opposed, the same?
thank you.
There's a letter from Monty and Donna Franklin. They live at Lazy HM. Dear Commissioner Gravely, we live on the west end of Broward County, just off of Highway 12 in Lazy HM subdivision. All of us here, except one homeowner, mow our property regularly and spray our weeds twice a year. This one homeowner will not mow or spray his 10 acres and is about 90% Canadian thistle. He has never mowed or sprayed since we moved here 8 years ago. The thistle is about 6 feet tall and has spread onto our property. This thistle is also choking off the creek on his property and our property. Montana law states the state require owners of property within our state control, to the extent possible, eradication of noxious weeds. We wrote to our homeowners association, but they have no money to enforce this state law. Last year and the year before, we contacted Scott Dunning with no result. He pretty much said that he has no authority to get them to handle the weeds. Who does have the authority in this matter? And what state agency can we contact regarding the problem? He has the equipment to mow, he has a tractor and a brush hog. He used it to mow a path for riding horses through his field of thistles. And his name is Neil Olsowitz, 51 Lazy HM, East Town. Can you help us? If so, thank you. Monty and Donna Franklin. Comments?
I sent that to Scott. He's been working on that non-compliance with the county attorney, so I'd like to hear from him on the specifics of this issue and also if there is anything with non-compliance.
Okay.
Franklin?
Any comments?
Yeah, I think, Scott should be able to turn that into, I'm not sure what agency. And normally, what I understand it, the county can go in and spray the weeds or whatever and charge the homeowner. In this case, I don't think doing a good spray, because it sounds like they're too far gone, but I mean, it can be cut down.
And should we follow a process before sending the state? Do they require that?
Well, that's what apparently Scott's supposed to be finding that out.
The non-compliance issue, of course, as you know, since we've discussed it so much, is county, not the state. Is So I just wanna make sure that we're all on the same page, Franklin.
We got an invite from T&E. You're cordially invited to dinner. Please be our guest of Tractor, and Equipment Company at our Customer Appreciation Dinner. County Commissioners, officials, and guests. Dinner is Monday, September 21st, 2015. Transportation will be provided from the Holiday Inn. The first buses will leave at 6 o'clock. Please join us for hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and dinner. Please RSVP to Melissa Fraze at 406-651-8289. Tractor and Equipment. Now, I'm assuming you all got that at home too.
Is that for that Mako deal?
Yeah. Oops.
So say they have it, Great Falls, where
Yeah, I
sing,
think so.
sing.
It matters.
Yeah, I've never been to that one.
But yeah, it's exactly the same,
Oh.
the ones I've been to anyway.
Huh. Must be Western States right now. Oh, it says T&E?
T&E.
Huh. It's kinda weird, cause Western States is over there.
I don't know.
Western States are modern, so.
This is for Montana Department of Transportation. Subject, Montana's non-metropolitan local official participation process. Pardon me. Attached is a documentation of Montana process for providing non-metropolitan local official participation in statewide transportation planning process. There isn't anything extra in here, an attachment. The Rail, Transit, and Planning Division of Montana Department of Transportation is requesting comments for any proposed modifications to the non-metropolitan local official participation process in accordance with 23 CFR 450.210 non-metropolitan city and county officials are asked to participate in the statewide transportation planning process. MDT initially implemented the process in 2004 and continues to review and solicit comments every 5 years in regards to the effectiveness of the process. This was last done in 2010. The processes described in the attached document was proposed and approved by all 56 counties during Mako quarterly meeting in 2003. In addition to this letter, comments will be also solicited through the Newsline MDT quarterly newsletter, the biennial Trend Plan 21, a stakeholder survey, and the annual STIP meeting with county commissioners. MDT will continue to consider local official input through our documented process and alter the process as new opportunities arise. The document can be reviewed at http://mdt.mt.gov/PUBINVOLV. We ask that you provide input and comments by December 4th. If you would prefer a hard copy of the document, please contact Vicki Grindage, 406-444-7653. We appreciate your assistance in this effort. Comments can be sent to the following address, and then signed by Carol Strizich, State and Urban Supervisor. Okay, Dana, you're on.
This first of all, I sent you all an email this morning. This is what it says. It's just I'm gonna be off tomorrow, Thursday. Be back next week. Be gone Thursday, and then I'll be gone all the rest of the next week, so week of the 24th. I had that state labor and industry guy, compliance guy come out, came to the shop, went up to Brian's, I think, up to this transfer station. Found some stuff, just minor stuff. You guys can look at this if you want, real quick. It's just some of the stuff he found that he wants corrected. I got most of it done. I need to find a flammable storage container, I guess.
What
Cabinet.
goes in it?
Oh, like your ether and your paint small one's $600. You know, that's not near big enough for what I gotta do, and I guess I can look at the surplus place, you know, and hell, and see if they have anything. I kind of went through there this morning a little bit, and I didn't see anything that they didn't appear to have anything like that, and I'm sure that most of them that they get, or if they get any at all, are gone. Well, I don't know, I guess I may end up having to buy one, I guess, I don't know, or else just move it out somewhere else, but I can't let it freeze either, so. Anyway, got that, that's one of them, and then I had, another one's a little, they call it a tongue guard for your grinder. Basically, it's just a little guard that goes around your wheel, so you don't stick your finger in there or whatever. Anyway, got those 3 items that I need to get fixed up, but.
What's this, what's a chuck guard on a drill press?
Well, he explained to me, I Googled it up there a little bit, you know, and I mean, all it is a little, it's like a little can or something that goes up over your chuck. And then, so you don't get your coat caught in the chuck, it's going around, supposedly. But I mean, it's.
I never heard of one before.
Yeah, well, I know, you know, and I mean, it's just, some of this stuff is great, you know, and I talked to him a little bit about it, you know, and some of it's good, some of it's just a way to, in my opinion, just to irritate you, but,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. I'll get what I gotta get, I guess, and get that taken care of, but, anyway, that's where I was at on that. Another one, fire suppression system. They've been coming in here and doing our fire extinguishers and stuff. I contacted Action Fire Extinguisher out in Helena, because these guys, fire suppression, put me in non-compliance for the second time in 3 years, okay? Because they don't get here when they're supposed to get here.
That's not our fault.
I know it's not our fault. But they, like I said, they put me in non-compliance, because if I get caught without a fire extinguisher up there and that loader up there at the lime plant, I've got a $300 fine. Okay? I've got a fire extinguisher there, it's just the tag's out of date, which MSHA don't care. They don't care about none of it. If that tag's 2014, it's supposed to be 2015, I'm gonna get cited for it. So, I got a hold of Action, they came down, and I mean, they were down there like 3 days later, and checked out all my extinguishers and everything. So, well, then, last week or the week before, they came down here to the courthouse, and they worked a couple other places. Well, I get a bill from them for $356,
For what?
because they came and did three extinguishers. Okay? And, Action did the rest.
Action did the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, I thought this was an action bill.
No, this here is fire suppression.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, Action charged me $232 for doing what they did, which is great, because they got here, and they did. So I got a hold of this guy at Fire Suppression, and asked him, you know, because this gal at Action, she says, you know, you're supposed to have, she says, we don't have contracts. She says, but, she says, I know Fire Suppression locks you into a contract. And she says, I don't know why. They shouldn't be locking you into a contract, because you should be able to go to whoever you want to go to. Well, anyway, I got a hold of them, and I got a copy of the contract.
Okay,
Well, this is a 5-year lease contract, so when this contract comes up, whoever signs for this contract, just beware a little bit, okay? But I guess this is supposedly the last year of this contract thing, and I'm not sending it back. I'm not gonna do it. I guess I don't know what to do, whether just to go ahead and, you know, they told me at Fire Suppression, I could buy these extinguishers from them because they're supposedly leased to us. So I guess I'm not sure what to do, I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out, but, you know, right now, I got a bill for $356 and I got a bill for $232. I'm gonna pay the $232 one to Action, because they came and did what I was supposed to do, or what. Now, the gal at Action told me, and I don't know if she's right or wrong, that being that, you know, fire suppression put me into non-compliance. She said, if I do, I just tell them forget it. I mean, they put you into non-compliance. So,
Can they do that?
I don't know.
But they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at, so. So I don't know, I may just end up going and buying extinguishers so they're ours, and then I'm just having Action come in and redo them all. Cause I'm not going back with fire suppression.
I totally support one, challenging the bill, maybe in the form of a letter. Also letting Corey know
Yeah.
what and why, so that we have legal
Yeah.
on our side.
Yeah.
And at the very least, they need to justify why they charge this much, and they need to justify why they waited and came late and put you in non-compliance. But I support that 100%.
And see, a couple years ago when they did the same thing, I mean, they're supposed to be here in July.
Mhm.
Well, it was toward the end of September before they got here last time. You know, and I mean, this time, here it is the end of August when they got here. So, anyway, I guess I'll deal with that, but,
If the contract says they'll come in July,
well,
to me, we've got some wiggle
I
room,
don't
but I
know.
know no
I
way.
hold their feet to the fire.
I would too, absolutely.
see, this thing was signed in 2010, and that, you know, I mean, I signed the thing, but that was in 2010, and I guess I was just kinda naive to the whole thing, but that's my fault. But like I said, I'm gonna get out of it, this is, we're supposed to renew this year, but I'll talk to Corey about that, so.
Okay.
When's the
I need
renewal,
that.
at 16, is that when the renewal is, or is it?
15. Like right now, they sent me a new,
Oh, so you don't send it back? or-
no, I'm not saying.
Yeah, that's the end of it then,
Yeah, that's what I say,
just that bill, that's,
yeah. Yeah, if I gotta pay it, I'll pay it, whatever. I'll find out. Okay, those boys went to snow rodeo training and stuff last week. TJ calls me. Well, I called, left a message Thursday sometime, said that, he said, well, doesn't look like we're doing very good, we're gonna be coming home early. And that's the last I heard. So, anyway, they came home and they got on the computer and looked this morning, and they did a little better than they thought they did, so. Anyway,
Nice.
haven't got, the final results back on that yet, but,
They did phenomenal last year, can only
Yeah.
be on top, I suppose.
well, they're both in the top 10 on a couple of things this year, so, I don't
That's
know.
not bad.
Nothing to complain about.
Okay, I'm gonna,
Who was that?
Corey,
Oh, I don't know.
He stuck his head in and waited.
yeah,
Hmm.
maybe he's waiting for a couple months.
What?
Regional well tap in Rapid City, I'm gonna go to that again. Be the 20th to the 23rd of October,
Okay.
so I'll be gone then. Fall Mackers meeting we're having out here at the fairgrounds. And there'll be loader training and skid steer training on that, it'll be an all-day deal. So that'll be good, I mean, they basically said, can we do it there? I said, yeah, let's do it.
What date is that?
October 8th.
Excellent.
So, go ahead and do that. The mower guy, he got all the mowing done. Got just a couple little things we're finishing up on. TJ is doing that this morning, so, we got them on.
oh, about mowing, did you get the 6 Mile Road?
I think so, yeah.
Did it, okay.
Yeah.
It was about a week ago, I got a call mowing in the weeds, Oversity sprayed the road twice.
Where-
Scott never
where's
did go up and
he-
spray.
where's he
That is, in fact, you, Andy, but he did mention that.
On up above? Cause we just went up to the cattle guard, like we used
Which
to,
cattle?
the first cattle guard. From the highway, Flynn's cattle guard.
Oh, well, as far as you went.
Yeah, that's all we always go. Cause they always pasture it off.
Okay. Apparently it isn't this year. I didn't go up and look, I just going for what he said.
Yeah.
I know he said he sprayed it a couple times himself
Yeah,
from the canyon all the way up to the,
yeah.
well, the shear fence there.
Yeah, and I guess we sprayed.
But that is, you don't have anything to do with the spraying, that,
Yeah.
he did mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, normally, like I say, we just do up to the first cattle guard, cause Flynn's, they pasture right all through theirs, you know, the cattle will be in there, and then, you know, I don't know, do Martins have cattle?
Yeah,
Okay,
that they've cut way down.
yeah, but they'll still pasture on up to them, this is so,
Mhm.
you know. Anyway, any place that's got any areas like that, that people pasture cattle, I mean, I don't even bother mowing it, cause I'm just wasting my time, wasting my money. Especially if they get in there, you know, in fall pasture and stuff, so. Anyway, we're done with that, and TJ, like I say, he's a couple of little items he's just finishing up on every day. 28th of September. Now Hayden was doing the mowing, Hayden Moore, did a good job, so he's gonna come back. He's working in Poplar, kind of a part-time at the hospital there, or ambulance thing up there. And anyway, he's gonna be back 28th for 3 weeks. So I'm just gonna kinda keep him on,
Okay,
you know, as a short-term thing. I mean, we didn't even come close to using, I mean, I think I got him for 90 days without having to do any other stuff, you know, with vacation and stuff like that, so. And he's okay with that, but, I wanna keep him on through the winter as long as I can, you know, like, we're gonna be stockpiling and stuff again here this winter, and we'll just use him for that. And I actually got a lot of gravel hauling we're gonna do here next few weeks, next couple months probably, really. So we'll use him for that, but at the Old Town Bridge there, we're gonna do our part of it, redeck our part of it, September 28th, so. They'll be able to get that done in a day, I'm assuming, hopefully. It's only about 50 feet of it, so.
Mhm.
Gallup County came in and did their part. So I brought some 3-inch plank to match up to them.
Biggest deal is probably getting the old decking off.
Yeah, that ought to come up fairly easy, but I mean, just the nails and stuff, they'll have to drive all them down and whatnot, so. They're gonna get started on Toma Road here too, probably this week or first part of next week.
Okay, that's the thing I have down here too.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything from Wedge lately, but,
Yeah, well, I talked to Roger Sanderson last week about it a little bit, you know, and I just gotta get in and get it done. We're gonna haul from Lone Mountain Pit, just haul some pit run down there and scatter on it, cover them rocks up, so. Was down at Rolling Glen, picked up the backhoe the other day, Rolling Glen Ranch Road. Got a little short section of it that's kinda messing up with us there. I pretty washboarded in through there, just on that north end, but they're down there this morning, they're gonna blade that up a little bit, and Mark's hauling a little bit of material on top of it, so. Get that cleaned up, and then we're gonna get on 437 and do a little blading on that before harvest, you know, it's potato harvest, and I think you're gonna start cutting corn probably pretty quick, I think.
are they planning to make it again?
You know, they don't make nothing.
Don't they, didn't leaves?
Well, leaves still,
Okay,
but in my opinion, you know, there's ought to be somebody else down there that takes care of that. But whatever, they're not gonna, so, yeah, Leap did it this year for half mile, I mean, just so his cows wouldn't, you know, collect all the dust, you know, but I don't know, I didn't even stay very long. You know, 'cause it's pretty well wore out right now, I mean, you can't even see it. And we had it all bladed up and pretty nice and everything else, you know, and just, I don't know, it didn't hang on. I don't know what the problem was.
Huh.
But anyway, he'll probably do it again in the spring. It's just, and we're planning on doing some hauling on that 437 from probably Lone Mountain Road to at least Plunkett Lake.
Okay,
That Crusher will be coming in here sometime. He hasn't got a hold of me yet, but it'd be pretty quick. So we're gonna crush enough to get in on that, and cover that up, because that road's a pain in my side. With all the traffic, there's a lot of traffic out there. So, anyway. Other than that, that's about all I got.
John, you had a question?
Yeah, the cattle guard on the, by the cattle guard on the west side of the river going toward Toston Dam needs some fill next to it. It's real rough. Some of those trailers
Yeah,
have,
I had a complaint on that too. Evidently it's worked out from the cattle guard. I
Where
don't
we're
know,
at?
The first cattle guard on the dam road. Right there by, just past the
Oh, by
subdivision.
Dykes?
Dykes there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, we're gonna haul on that road too here, I gotta haul some of that FEMA gravel in on that stretch from the trees on down there, and then I gotta do that in down there too, so.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I had a complaint on that. I guess it's really washboarded through there.
Yeah, it's a nice road too, so.
But
Anyway.
you're gonna be hauling stuff on there then?
We'll be hauling just on a couple short sections there now, that stretch, I don't know what section you're talking about is really washboarded, I know down,
From the cattle?
it varies.
Yeah, from the cattle guard down towards where that little cutoff takes down towards the siphon there, or the.
Oh, well, we're not gonna haul on that. You know, we won't be hauling on that.
With the FEMA too, but you can haul some other stuff. That gets washboarded just so fast right through there.
Yeah,
It's
well-
about a quarter mile, half mile. It's always.
Quarter mile, somewhere right around
Yeah.
there, yeah, till you make that first corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions, John?
no,
Oh.
I'm just,
Did you get that message at the mail carrier on River Road?
Yeah, you told me that.
Oh, did I tell you? I thought I left a message, whatever it was anyway, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna take some top stuff on that too to.
Well, yeah, well, it's gonna be, I mean, we'll get it when we can, I don't know what to tell her, I've got a couple roads that I gotta get stuff on, it's just time and manpower. That's my biggest problem right now, is, I mean, you know, everybody wants this stuff done, and I ain't got enough manpower to do it, so, let's get it when I can. Okay?
thanks, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Thanks,
Sorry,
Dana.
Good job you do.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Welcome back. It's Monday.
Yeah. It's Tuesday.
Well, it's our Monday.
I guess you guys are representing Brenda?
We are.
Come on up.
She's having an out-of-body experience in the form of two men because she's fishing. So
Come on down.
hopefully she's catching some big ones. So, grab this here. So, figured to bring Brandon over. So you guys get the wise wisdom and words of the now captain. The man, the myth, and the legend. I am Brandon Nurse. So, thanks guys for coming last week, by the way. Last month's been busy, so, and I'll let Brandon talk about the jail stuff, but obviously the fires kept us busy last month, and plane crash and fun things like that, but, we obviously got Brandon put in as captain, so he's he's at the realm of that nightmare now. I did close the detective slot last Wednesday, so to hopefully today and tomorrow, Corey and I are gonna sit down and kind of go over some questions. There were 2 applicants, Mason Moore and Seth Wenzel, did put in for that. I think either one of them would do a fine job, so kind of where we're at with that, so hopefully we'll get that taken care of. Our dispatch we hired, that we offered a job to, called back 5 days later and said she wasn't gonna do it, so we had to reopen that again. Did open both deputy positions to fill Brandon's, and then whoever goes up to detective, so those will close on the 18th. I'd like to try to get some boots on the ground before, it is only post certified folks this time. I'm looking to get boots on the ground before hunting season. We all know what that hunting season turns out like around here, so they're gonna be in training, but at least they're gonna have some experience and some knowledge where they're not a complete rookie when we get out here. I really don't wanna go through the same thing that we did last year in the Thanksgiving timeframe with the elk hunters. Search and rescue, we had our fundraiser this weekend, did really well.
How much do you make?
You know, just preliminary numbers, kind of talking with Raj, it's right around $9,000. I did deposit $975 back into the maintenance account this morning. That four-wheeler that they were giving us $400 to trade in. Excuse me. Not that important. We got $975 for it. So $975 went back into the $230, the general maintenance and repair. Live auction was up good. We ran out of food again. I might have to look at different venue for that though. Not enough room, there's not enough seating. The folks at the silos love us being there, they really enjoy it, but it's very crowded, very, very crowded. And I'm pretty sure if the fire marshal came out and said, you guys are over capacity. So, but we're not gonna call the fire marshal and have a discussion about that right now. The other things, we're trying to get, we're having a little problem with squirrel mischief and some vandalism within the city limits. Seems to be, since the kids back in school, we're having quite an influx of that. Just some misdemeanor thefts, nothing real significant, but enough to where it's getting problematic. So Seth's been, I think Seth and Mason have both dealt with quite a few calls on that, and they're trying to come up with something. A lot of it's people aren't keeping their things locked up, they're not putting their stuff away, and if it's unsecured and sitting out, somebody's gonna take it. And then just some, I think it's juveniles shooting windows with pellet guns and stuff like that. So trying to figure out how to curb that little issue. It's really not a particular day, it's not a particular time. So it's very hard to kind of get our efforts focused on that. I think our fire investigations are all complete. I mean, Corey's got quite a handful of cases from us here lately. So for the felony side of the house, I think we're pretty much up to speed, and we've got what we've got right now. So we're waiting for what I call the domestic season to start, obviously right around the holidays again, and then trying to get stuff prepared for the winter activities. I did order 2 sleds for search and rescue. Depends on who you talk to, depends on what winter's gonna look like. Some say it's gonna be mild, some people say it's gonna be extreme. I'm not gonna take any chances. We got, Dwayne Howerson got us a pretty good deal down in Belgrade, so I said just order the sleds and let's get it done and let's be ready and prepared. So that's kind of where we're at. We did lose a couple search and rescue members, but I think we're gonna gain a couple from over the weekend as well. Brett Beagley was our training officer. He went to Livingston with the Forest Service. So Nate Montiel is now our training officer. I don't know if you guys know Nate or not. Very good guy, very good guy. So we have 8 or 9 going to the search and rescue rendezvous in Helena here believe, not this weekend, next weekend, for that 3-day event up there. So, and we gotta get our NASAR, membership together in there. Get some trainings there as well. So, some very good things going on. I think we're kind of getting in a group right now. It's been nice having Brandon there because, he's taking a pretty good approach with the jail. So, it's taken a load off my back as well. So, we did put, Myra on as a coroner, in August, so she's our 4th coroner now. So hopefully, that will lighten the load for us as well. I think that's it from the law enforcement side of the house.
I have a question. We didn't make it to the pig.
Mhm.
So can I just send you a check?
Oh, yeah.
For a donation?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah,
To send it to you or get it to you? or-
yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
And I guess I had, what was the other thing I had?
Did you get any, have an update this morning on this deal up here at, Houser?
You know, I don't know what to think about that whole, that guy, he's running around in sandals and shorts and a t-shirt. It was cold last night. In 2 awful times. I mean, where he's at, if he made it all the way to the dam, he better be a billy goat because that's some rugged country down there. And then if he's up closer to the White Sand area, I mean, there's a lot of houses, a lot of outbuildings and stuff, and that could be quite a task. He's obviously made some very grave mistakes. It wouldn't surprise me if he runs up on a mountain somewhere and just says help and shoots himself. Because that's unfortunately kind of what we see a lot of with a lot of these folks that do these things. And I guess that's the other thing, is just the violence that we're seeing. I did see this morning in the Independent Record, Vince Vaquero and his wife did write a letter thanking the police. It's in the Independent Record. It's quite the time to be in law enforcement right now. It's for lack of better words, just damn dangerous. When you can't even get to your car without getting shot. So, 2 Vegas officers were shot yesterday. They were sitting in their car at a traffic light, who were not even out doing things, people were just shooting. So it's definitely, it has changed how evil we perceive our job right now. So, it's just a sign of the times, I think, but, lots of bad things going on. Unfortunately, again, I think they had in the paper this morning, Corey sent it to me, Broward County's 5th for most violent crimes per capita in the state. I wish they quit putting that out there, to be honest with you. It is what it is though, and I don't foresee it really changing much. That's just the mentality of the people we deal with. So, we've got a few of our old guests that are coming back to jail. Got a transport order for one of them from a case from 2002. He's sitting in Yellowstone County, so he'll be coming back. And
You guys must treat him too well.
I like to use the expression, there's some folks that are just stuck on stupid, and it's just not gonna change. We can give them treatment, we can give them education, they're still coming back. I don't know how to fix that, but, that's kind of where we're at right now. So, I'm hoping to hear shortly on the BOR stuff. I'd like to try to get a person out there. There's a lot of activity going on around our lake all the time, and that and our forest area, I'd really like to have somebody out there and have that on a full-time basis, and have that availability to kind of curb some of that. I don't know if you guys drive around, but I'm tired of seeing the peel out works on every back road in the county right now. Jack Farm, let's get drag strip. And I'm on that road all the time. I don't see who's doing it. But we need to kind of get some of those things under control. So, right now doing pretty good, so. I think, so. Jail captain?
I don't know if I can talk as long as Wayne.
Give it a shot.
Yeah,
You haven't had as much experience.
yeah. He usually fills that up for me. But, the jail, I just, kind of slowly settling in there. Yesterday I started actually going down and just kind of looking at stuff, and I think mostly just getting a fresh set of eyes, and found a few issues and curbed a couple things, and, we're gonna move some things around and fix some things that are broken, but, been broke for a long time. So,
How many guests you got right now?
46, and they're bringing 5 more today. We had to turn down 3 from other agencies because we just don't have room. So, on top of the ones that are ours coming, so Inclusive and Clark's bringing 5 more males. So, we're full, full.
That's good.
So, got a thank you note, I guess, this morning, complimenting our staff on the way they treat the inmates, so, from an inmate that left this morning, so.
Really?
So she's never been treated as well as she's been in Broadwater County, so that's, we're doing some good. Most of the time you get just bad, because they don't wanna be here, so. But, yeah, it's a learning process right now, but I think we're just gonna start out slow and just gonna keep moving forward, so.
I did authorize him to spend a little money, on the transport van. Brandon got some partitions, secure that thing up a little better. They've been operating that without a divider between the driver's seat and the inmates. So that we ordered here just a couple months ago. It's in place, it's installed. Brandon got another one, more of a segregation to separate the females and the males during transports, and then there's something else, I think, in the back. And he did talk about taking some of the old video systems that we've used in the past and putting those in the back of the van because you can't see with the dividers. So there's gonna be some price and claims in getting those things installed, so the officers up front can view the motor and see what's going on in the back seat. The other thing is a book cart. That was one of the things he brought up yesterday, a book cart. They've been running around with a flat cart with Rubbermaid totes when they're all broken. And the inmates have been broken for quite a while, and inmates have been actually found out harming themselves, cutting on themselves with the broken pieces, and none of our staff has said anything. And so he did request a book cart yesterday. We also ordered a trash cart. With the quick chain meals we're going through, we have a lot more trash, because there's 2 plastic containers for each one of those. And so what they were doing was bring it out and set it on cardboard, and then when they had a minute, they'd walk it outside, which just made a damn mess everywhere, and unhealthy as far as that concerned. So we didn't order, there's a claim somewhere for that. It's a very large trash cart, so that they can roll it right out and be done with it. What was the other thing? We ordered another chair down at dispatch. The one that Nick had at his desk, no one much cared for upstairs. The dispatchers seemed to love it, and so we bought another one because they hated the one that was down there. And so
What was that, man?
it was a chair. It was a chair. Nick bought this chair,
Okay.
and when he broke his back, and so we've all sat in, we're like, yeah, that thing, I don't know why you want it, but the dispatchers, they seem to think it's just the cat's meow, and that we keep buying these $150 chairs, and they keep breaking them and everything else, and so we said enough's enough, and we bought another one. So there's some things right there. We do have the new 911 system coming online next Monday, I believe, 14th. So that whole new CAD system is going to be start processing. Actually, I think they're going to come in over the weekend and start that, getting all that set up. And I did talk with Mike, and that detective office and interview room work was going to be done sometime at the end of this month. So there's those things as well that is coming down the pike. If you walk over, I know we discuss it, I told Brandon about the commissioner's tours. And so if you come over, you'll notice the office, Brandon's office has changed a little bit. We moved Tammy's desk, or they moved Tammy's desk, and he moved his desk, and kind of opened it up and gave him a little more room. So there's probably gonna be some modifications there, but we did put some shelving in to eliminate some issues we were having. So things have changed a little bit. So we're gonna get rid of our conference table that's in our patrol room. It's big and not utilized very often. So other than to collect junk, it seems like it's what we do. So if you guys need a big old table, let us know. We're more than happy to get rid of it. So, what else do we have? Captain, no captain. That's about it.
There's been a lot of stuff coming at me, so
I bet.
You know, he's done well. He's gone through and he's got himself organized. That transition going from one person to the next is obviously very time consuming. And yeah, when I transitioned from captain to undersheriff, I spent 3 months picking up all Ben's stuff, and that was something that I try not to do to anybody else. And so I had most of it cleaned up for the most part, so his transition wasn't quite as brutal. There's still a lot of stuff to go through, but you know, he's been fairly organized in his efforts. So every chance I get, I do throw paper on his desk, though, just so I can keep busy. I'm still gonna do the claims for the detention right now, kind of give him a little time just to get acclimated to what's going on. So I'm still doing those, I'm still signing off on the time sheets right now. Just as kind of just a gradual step into that direction. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Update on the horses. We're gonna do one today. I think 2:30, 3 o'clock, so we have 15 total. We are then going to, Dusty and John are trying to get John's place set up. We need to put all the horses down there, with the exception of Gump. Gump's still at my house being a pain in my ass. But he's to the point now where so he can actually get on him and ride him. Sam Shearer was able to jump on him bareback and ride him across again. So, you know, we'll have a chance of actually finding a good home for him if he doesn't stay. I don't know what we're gonna do with him. It's a quandary. The only person in the house that doesn't want him is the missus, so, and she's got a powerful voice. So, we'll just leave that where it's at. But the other ones should all get put down there, so they'll be the Johns for the winter. We are looking at our hay purchase of the year. Trial is not set on this until February. So that really puts us in a bind. We have homes for 7 of the 8 horses that Daleen possesses that are in her names. She just will not. She won't give them up. So we have full expectations that we're going to have these horses all the way well into the March and April time frame. It is what it is. Corey has given a very good deal to Daleen, and she just won't take it. And he's like, I'm not going anymore. And basically, she just wants a slap on the wrist and a walk. And that dog ain't gonna hunt. So that we'll end up in trial. So
Where is she?
Billings, yeah. So we're we're in that planning stage of getting prepared. So I think Dusty said on the 21st, the trimmer's gonna come in, we're gonna get the horses trimmed again. We do have some vet stuff that's coming down the pike. But for the most part, the studs that are there, I think we have three studs that are gonna get put in a special place down at John's. And then, but when the guys go to feed, it's gonna be all in one location. And hopefully something, you know, we can keep that cost down. We are gonna be looking at about 34 tons of hay, from basically October to, I think I figured So, kind of where we're at with that. So, we're in that planning stage, we gotta go out and clean the fairgrounds again. And then we're gonna have to get some dirt and fill that back in. We've taken a ton of dirt out of those pins, and we've exposed all the concrete now. They were 6-inch forms, and now there's probably that much underneath where the concrete actually came out in their hole. So we need to fill that back in, and get that back to kind of where we had it when we moved in. We gotta clean the horse barn up and put the gates back on it. We got some maintenance out there as well that we have to do. We've kind of taken control of that for the better part of 18 months now. And we do need to get things kind of put back in perspective out there, so.
Are the studs scheduled to be cut?
We've cut all the ones we can. 3 of them are Dalines and, 4 are Dalines. So Gump, Denny, Cinco, and Bubba Jack are all Dalines, and she won't let us do anything with them. So, which is frustrating beyond belief. But, and then in December, we did apply for a grant to take some horses to Spencer Dominic. You guys had a claim for him. He was a horse trainer that came up and evaluated the horses to see what could be ridden and what needed work. There's approximately 8 horses, I think, that we're going to send to him in December. And then the ASPCA has a grant that will pay for training. So we're going to take 8 horses over to Wilsaw, drop them off to Spencer, and then he's going to go through and get them trained up to where they're somewhat functional.
Now, that could be covered in this grant, or?
Yep, yeah, it'll be all through the grant. It won't be anything, off of, it cost us. So, they'll pay up, I think it's up to $800 a month per horse for that. So, we just wanna go over and we got Nippy and Sinja that you can't even get a halter on. So those 2 are critical to get. Della, the mare that was knocking on death's door, has become one of the most problematic horses we have. She needs work. Bling needs work. And what's
What do
the
you
other one?
mean, she's the biggest problem?
Oh, she's just ruthless. I mean, she's mean. I mean, she beats on other horses, and she'll get any horse in the corner and just kick the tar out of them. And I mean, she's just on it. It's like, you were nice here a while ago, now you're just a pain in our ass. But, so we got, and I think Gump's gonna go over, and I don't know what the other one is, get them over, get them trained, so then hopefully now we have a viable way to get rid of these things. No one wants a horse that's gonna get injured. A lot of our questions that we get through the receivership is, can a beginner get on these? No. They're more an advanced rider horse. That is making it very tough to get homes for these guys. No one wants to take a horse that they're gonna get hurt on. And so, we're doing our best with what we can. It's been really pretty tough here in the last week. We had a good 9 horses go just like that, and then we really kind of got pretty stagnant. People get apps, they don't return them. They'll call, they'll inquire, but maybe after we get through the horse trainer part, Brandon had a good idea of doing, instead of having a pet of the week, have a horse of the week, as a way to get some of these critters out to places. So, if Daleen would sign hers over, we would be 7 horses gone. Just like that, we have apps for most of them already. So, in the aspect of the horses, it's kind of where we're going. Again, to prepare for another winter. So, not that we really want to, but we learned a valuable lesson. we need to get easier just to buy stock and hay, and then when we have these, is give them some hay and say, now figure this out or get rid of them. But I don't think we'll ever go down this road again, I'll be honest with you. So, and honestly, when Jesperger ran and everything else, it really complicated the whole thing. And it really put us, when he went the other side of the country, he really jammed us hard. And you know, unfortunately, I throw a lot of blame on our justice system in that aspect. Because they look at it and they listen to these guys, as, oh, I'll go out and work and I'll do this. And they're cons. And that's the whole part of this whole process, is that these two folks conned the Montana people to believe they were doing something good. And so all it did was end up costing us money and a lot of it. So if the justice system just learned that we have a jail for a reason, bad guys who have 34 felonies deserve to sit in, it would save us a lot of money in the long run. So it's kind of where we're at. I told Brandon he needs to make arrangements for you guys to come over and take a tour again through there. It's a little chaotic with a full house, but I think otherwise things are good. So, right?
I'm happy.
You're happy? I got one that's happy. I mean, well, we're doing pretty good there. So, any questions? Nothing?
We think that Brandon will do a phenomenal
Oh,
job.
I think so.
There's no doubt.
So it's, it's kind of funny because he ran from, he's passed up his opportunities in the past for promotion. Oh, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I'll quit being a chicken. And that's what it was. He's just unsure of himself, and he really stepped to the plate this time, and he's really taken a good hold of it, and he's got good ideas and some good direction, and once he just starts to understand that he's the captain now, he doesn't need to come and ask me. It'll take him a little bit, but that's
It's been 11 years of asking you, so.
yeah. So, but it's like, he asked some questions yesterday, I'm like, you're the captain, do what you want. Oh. So, he is driving the black truck now, so we have a little issue with the radio that we're gonna get fixed, but, that's where that's at. And then we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do for a detective car, because that is an alarm in a marked unit. Because and that's kind of one of the things we're kind of looking at right now is the administrative staff is with the exception of Brenda wears her vest and her uniform every day, and I don't, and Brandon doesn't. And so the conversation that Brenda and I have had several times is we need to unmark our vehicles, because we go somewhere, we're gonna get ourselves in the pickle. Because if we're going to a meeting somewhere or something like that, and we're out getting gas, we can get shot in the head just like they do down in Houston. It wasn't like you just got shot in the head. That poor deputy was shot 17 times, and that guy unloaded on him, emptied his gun. So that's the mentality that's out there, and I think we need to be a little more vigilant in our aspects of how we're looking at our public safety aspect. I mean, our jobs are to manage and maintain. It's not necessarily be out there running a gun. That's what we have deputies that go out there and do that and run around and mark units all over the state. That can be dangerous. So, which is apparent is what we see right now. So,
I think the problem is people look at the car. I mean, I was at Billings getting gas, and they approached me about a gas drive-off. I'm like, I'm not even have to, call the cops. I'm just in training, so. It is, they just see a cop car and they approach you, so.
and and when you're dressed in civilian clothes, and you might have a gun, you might not. Some things they don't want you bringing guns to. It's funny, you go to the academy, you're not supposed to carry a gun. I keep telling them, you can write me a ticket for bringing a gun on campus, but when I go there, I get my gun, and they don't like it, but so what? Write me a ticket. I don't know. So, it's just a different time, so.
Hey, Brandon, when would be a good time for us to go on a tour? Do you want a couple of weeks to acclimate to the position, or?
Yeah, we have been so separated from patrol and what goes on in detention. I mean, we drop them off. I mean, Franklin knows, you drop them off and, oh, see you later, here's my paperwork. So I thought I'd kind of like to learn where everything's at in the facility and what goes on. A week or something, we could do it next week or something, I think I'd be fine with, but I'm yesterday I just started going down there and kind of poking my nose in their business and seeing what happens and asking questions. And so that'd probably be better if I had some answers for you, I think, so, let me find out, so.
Would that
wait
last
till-
Monday of the month work for you? We won't be
Yeah.
here the 20th, we've already had to publish the agenda for the 14th.
Yes, that'll work, that'd be
Okay.
fine. So, yeah, after you guys are done over here, if you wanna come over and we'll walk you through,
All right.
you can put me to the test, so.
Nice. I should record that.
Yeah. Yeah. I will have a detention officer there that knows everything too, so if I don't know, they can answer, so.
Well, I will say one thing, you sure put a smile on the partner's face,
Yeah, yeah,
a lot off of his shoulders.
It's been a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been nice.
Yeah.
And that's, maybe a lot of folks know, I mean, you had a conversation with Brenda and I said, you know, it's okay to go and do stuff. Go fishing, go to your mom's, go, you know, you don't have to be here every day. In saying that, because I know that the stress has taken a toll on her as well, but, you know, when you stop and think about it, it's like, okay, you know, when you talk to Perry Johnson in the academy, so what are you doing? Well, currently I am the acting jail administrator, the undersheriff, I'm the acting sheriff because my sheriff is gone, and I'm also the coroner. It becomes quite the mouthful, and there's a lot of responsibility to that, and having Brandon in there and knowing, I know he's gonna do a good job, he's gonna do it the way it needs to be done. I don't have any doubts about that, that's a huge stress relief. And having another corner, because Andy's off on military training, has been even a better blessing, because it's like, oh, you know, if I can't go, Myra can go. And when Brenda comes back from her northern pike and walleye fishing trip, which she better be bringing me some food, you know, she'll be, and so there'll be two of them. And so there's a lot less stress when you know that there's somebody else there to pick up the pieces, and you can actually go home and kick your boots off and just take a breath. And that's, it's been nice, and it's, the last couple of weeks, that stress level's gone down quite a bit. So it's been quite the benefit, so, and the sheriff and I have got our fishing trips planned out. So, she comes back and I leave, so, it doesn't get any better than that, so, but.
You've earned that trip coming up, there's no question.
If I could stay about, if I could handle about a week solid of fishing up there, I would, but after about day 5, I'm ready to come home. It's fun, but there's only so much fish you can eat in 5 days, and we put a lot away, so it'll be fun, but then it'll come back. And I'm getting excited for my grandson to show up, so got a little scare. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Tuesday, I think it was last week. Wyatt's little lady, she was having contractions, and she was about 33 weeks, and so she started having contractions. She went in, and she was 2 centimeters dilated, and the baby was 70% effaced, and he was ready to come out. And she didn't bother telling anybody until about 4. She was in the hospital from 10 until 4, and when she realized that she wasn't getting out, then she probably should tell. At least she then told Wyatt, who was sitting at home sleeping, and she never bothered to tell him that she was in the hospital. And then, so we went up there, and they got her a couple shots, and we kind of got things calmed down for the evening. And the next day, he started his rampage all over again. And so they weren't sure if they weren't going to get flown to Great Falls that following day, and they got it back under control and got him settled back down. So hopefully he will stay where he's at for the next couple of weeks and come out healthy. So we built that dresser this weekend after the search and rescue thing, or that little shelf thing, and it was nice to see them. But they're excited, I'm excited, but little baby Austin needs to stay put for a little bit, so.
Is she on bed rest then, in the hospital?
No, they sent her home, but she gets to move around. I think they said she can move around for, you know, like 20-minute spurts, but nothing. And she's a little upset because she likes to hunt. And so she bow hunts and she rifle hunts and she fishes and bird hunts and all
But
that.
not this year.
Not this year, she's getting a little cranky about it, and she likes to do things, she's kind of a hands-on girl, and so trying to get her, I mean, she was even trying to help load that shelf in the back of the truck, I'm like, you just go sit down, and, arguing with a 22-year-old or 23-year-old, is a lot like arguing with Myra, I'm not winning that argument either, so.
That's women.
Yeah, you just have to say, but she's doing pretty good, and I think it made her nervous, having that, she wants a healthy baby too, so.
How many weeks is she now?
She's 33, yeah, I think she'll be coming up on 34 here, so. We'll see how it goes, but they say now that 37 is full term, so I'm like, let's just make it 37, that's just,
Right.
I don't want any issues, but, yeah, they're both stressed out, and they're young and trying to make it work, so it's,
Yep,
yeah, it's good though, so, and Papa Wynn is getting excited, so. Even Lacey's getting excited, so.
is she?
Yeah, she was
Oh.
over at her dad's this weekend, and she came home with a package that she made for little Austin, I don't know what it is, but she wrapped it in like a green plastic thing. She was gonna make sure we get it to Austin. We will, so, she tells me every morning, let's not forget, I won't, so.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so, yeah, things are good, so. It'll be better after my vacation, so, but if you guys have any questions, just give us a call, so.
You bet. You guys too. If you need anything, let us know too.
And but we're gonna have a little conversation, I think, with search and rescue about what we can do with those old sleds. We got one, I think it's an 81, I don't know where into it, but, I did need to know the Thursday, what time?
5 o'clock
5,
at the Fishtail.
okay.
Just so you guys know, the ATV run this year was to raise money for the ambulance and search and rescue. They're having a chamber after hours, which is where all the businesses come together and network, and they want to present the check to search and rescue Thursday night.
Can you be there too?
'Cause I haven't shot either.
I'm gonna be at Fort Pack.
This
That's
Thursday?
it, yeah.
Oh, no, I think my birthday.
What's your birthday? Your birthday. Yeah, happy birthday.
Can we have more cake?
Yeah.
It was.
I didn't have any, but it looked really good.
And then, and Roger wanted me to ask if we could go Command Center to Oktoberfest instead of having a booth.
Yes, I don't know how it'll work yet, but the answer is yes,
Okay.
we'll make that work.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah, that's a great idea.
we wanted to take it out, on this weekend and let people see the Command Center. I think everything's pretty much done. All the radio stuff's in, and I think that, they've got their generator lined out, how they're gonna work that, but, we wanna pull it out and move through it and see it, so, kinda where that was at, but we didn't take it out because of the rain this weekend, and they didn't wanna take it out there and have the doors open and everything else, and have water running all over the place, so.
That won't be a worry with Fall Fest, because we've ordered 70 degrees again. so-
Perfect.
So,
There we go.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I have a question for you too before you go. In 2008, there was a master plan done of the Fair and Rodeo grounds, and it targeted its growth over the next 20 to 50 years. I was told that Kenner had it, gave it to you, John Washlet. You might know where that's at. Do you have a clue? It's gone from extension, we can't find it anywhere.
I have a file at home that has some of the historical stuff, and I can look in there. Otherwise, Vince would have had it, or Diane Brown had it. So,
Okay.
because I gave a whole box to Vince, and I gave 3 boxes to Diane. Mel never threw a thing away. I'll be honest with you. He had RMS receipts from the 90s. I'm like, oh, God, we only need 7 years. And literally, so I threw a bunch of that away. I said, we don't need that. But some of that 1964s, you know, those first time frames, I did keep a lot of that. And then the rodeo club still has their brand, so I have that as well. So it might be in there, I just don't, I have to go back and look, it's about that thick, so. I will look in there and see if I can find it, so, otherwise either Vinnie has it or Diane, so.
Okay,
But I think we don't have a meeting this month, because we have the dinner, the fair rodeo dinner will be on the 20th, so I think it's the 20th, whatever the Sunday is. Yeah, so, but yeah, they'll have elections in October. See what I can get out of this year.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I already got a laundry list of things that they're like, hey, you need to do. Like, we'll have a new vice president next year. So, we can see that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
thanks you guys.
Come on up, Lynn. Sorry, we got carried away.
Oh, that was no problem. That was interesting.
Yeah.
This is a family transfer for Duval's up Dry Creek Road. They are splitting it, here's Dry Creek Road. And the wife is given to the husband. And it's been through the examining land surveyor and Julie for sanitation.
Are they dividing it so they can sell it?
You know, I don't know what they're doing with it. But I know they did a 60 and then the 101 acre piece. And I don't know if it's for family planning. A lot of them are for planning, you know, family planning. Or getting the fields separated or something. But I do not know of any intentions of them. I didn't have very much hands on this one.
Well, I will move that we support the Udall family transfer. Is that the correct name?
Uval.
Uval.
Yeah.
All right.
It's moved and seconded to grant approval to the Tyra Uval land transfer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carried.
Kind of a quiet day for me.
Yeah,
I see the agenda was
Right.
small.
yeah, it's a nice change.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of in a holding pattern right now for a couple days, so, yeah,
Even the weather.
yeah.
It feels like it's switching out. You know, we were planning on siding the house this weekend and it didn't cooperate very well.
No, that's hard to do when it's pouring down rain,
Yeah.
which was wonderful, but it really did put a lot of plans on hold.
Yeah. But I got a lot of interior work done, so.
There you go. There you
It
go.
worked out better for me.
Not all bad then, is it?
No. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have a set of minutes, August 31st.
Move to approve as presented.
I'll second the motion. It's moved and seconded to grant approval to the August 31st minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. From Department of Public Service, we have applications for compliance for Bilton's Yellowstone Cab LLC, and G&G Garbage Inc. Rural Montana.
Let me just take that down now.
Safe, it's from Mako, property and casualty. It's a safety loss control credits. And we got 14 credits.
One of the things I was curious about, we'll be getting a check back because we started that safety committee. One of the things I've been wondering about is how much did we spend last year? What percentage of what we spent are we getting back? Because I think it's a quite a high percentage. We didn't spend much, is what I'm trying to say.
We have the Nago County News. From DEQ, Peace Valley Hot Springs, Water Treatment Facility. And it's from the state. Local Government Service Bureau is going digital.
We've already been kind of digital.
Yeah. And from the Department of Administration, sent to us as a TV district regarding Local Government Service Bureau and fiscal year 2015 annual financial and audit requirements.
Ken had a conversation with Franklin about the TV district and changing the structure. Franklin, could you share some of that conversation?
You know what?
When Kim talked to you about changing the structure of the TV district, I'm just curious what she shared with you.
Kim,
Kim Downing,
Yeah, our auditor, she did it right here at this door about 2 weeks ago when she was here.
oh, let's see, what was that? Oh, yeah, I remember talking about that. I think she was gonna send something, when she was in there. There was something, I don't recall now.
did you see that that gets to Debbie?
I will, yeah, I'll give that, and if you could let us know what you guys discussed regarding the budget, is probably something rather important to share with Elaine and I, Franklin.
You were standing right there too, so.
Like I said, I wasn't in the conversation, you and she were talking right at the door, and I was here doing paperwork. This was a conversation between the two of us, two of you, and I did not eavesdrop on it because I wasn't invited to join in. You were the chairman at the time, so if you could bring forward that information for Elaine and I on the budget, that would be beneficial to the county. Thank you.
I have time to hear from Gallatin Recreation.
We approved that for payment last week. But put that in there just because I think we should have a conversation about having a strongly worded memo next year. We had quite a few department heads turn in claims for the past fiscal year after the deadline that Tammy had set. That made more work for her to do. So this was just one of them, and it was just a reminder that we need to be a little bit more diligent on that next year.
I agree, because she gives them extra time,
She does, I think it was the 24th of July she gave them to.
almost a month.
Yeah, exactly, that's plenty of time. Unless there's extenuating circumstances, which we
Yeah.
can deal with, but like I said, there were just way too many department heads that did that this year.
And McCarthy Plumbing for $90. repair a woman's bathroom toilet at the fair.
That's a repair that Mike could have done for probably about $5. There's there's not quite a few, but I think some of our departments that are not necessarily in the courthouse, detention center too, I think Brandon will be good at tamping down on that, have been just going out and getting contractors to come in and do these repairs that Mike can do for a small fraction of the cost. So I think we should put together a memo to all of our departments to please contact Mike first.
Right.
That's a fix that would have taken him minutes for, again, about $5. So
Okay, it's a very good idea.
that's the only reason I put it in there, for a reminder to discuss it.
As with journal vouchers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to have anything else?
I do have a claim that I wanted to discuss. It's again Franklin's phone bill. He's requesting $20 for using his personal cell phone instead of county cell phone. You and I both have our calls as part of the public record. In the interest of transparency, all Franklin needs to do, and he's been advised of this many times before, is contact Verizon, let them know that he wants his phone calls to be delineated on his statement, and then we can pay him the extra money he's requesting. But I challenge paying this claim or any others until he follows through with the transparency that you and I
You're
are
about 2 years
already
behind
doing.
right now, so.
And you could have done this 2 years ago. It's just a phone call, Franklin, but you need to
I
take
sent
care of it.
everything, every time you had some little thing there, you said, you had to have 4 pages, so I sent everything that Verizon sends. So, that's it.
So again, I challenge the payment of that claim until we have the appropriate documentation to justify it to the taxpayers.
Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Franklin?
I don't think so.
Okay. Stand adjourned until next week.
And I forgot to tell you guys, if you get any complaints if there's a boat sunk in the lake, there is. Last week, a guy was out there trying to he anchored out, hoping to sit out the storm. Our search boat went out there, he refused our help, his boat sunk. So you can see the canopy sticking out of the water. It's north of Mayhood Way, so you can see it from shore. So if anybody says, why is there a boat in the water? It's because the guy refused our help and sunk his boat. And it's only like 10 yards offshore, but he's supposed to go and get it. Just so, if anybody says anything to you,
Now we know.
it is what it is.
Wow.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Elaine, we talked about having a meeting to have a policy on this reoccurring request for